Welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa. Get your education booklet in our daily newspaper, street sales, or at your school every Monday to Thursday for pre-primary up until grade 3. The lessons are for listening or watching online. Inside the newspapers, there is an insert of the lesson booklet. Please cut the top of the lesson booklet with a pair of scissors and fold it for ready to use. But there is more. We are also available on our online platforms, MyZone and Zoshi Facebook pages, and in addition, our website, Zoshi Online. Hello grade 3s and welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa and thank you so much for joining me today. Our theme this week is winter and friendship. And before we get into any lessons, my dear friends, we know that we have to sanitize. So let us take our sanitizer and rub our hands thoroughly. Remember, you can always use soap and water if you do not have sanitizer. Just make sure that you wash your hands for 30 seconds. Make sure your hands are dry before you touch anything else. For today's lesson, we are going to be doing phonics, place values, and vocabulary. Let's start our lesson today, boys and girls, by going to page 20. On page 20, we are going to be doing phonic sounds. Now, this one is very special because when U and R are together, they make the sound er. Everyone, let's say er. Wonderful. Now, as you can see on the page, we have many pictures that show words that have in them. We have, I'm going to read them out loud and I want you to point to the picture showing them. Some I will explain and then others I will leave them just like that. The first one we have is surf. Surf. Point to the picture that is showing the word surf. Well done, grade 3s. Now, surfing is a type of sport that is done in the ocean where someone is balancing on a board whilst riding a wave. As you can see, there is a boy who is on a board riding a wave in the water. The next word I'm going to say is the word nurse. Nurse. Please point to the picture that has a nurse. Good job, everyone. Now, as we know, a nurse is part of the health or the medical field. She is the one who assists the doctor and helps us also to get well soon. The last word I'm going to ask you to point to today is the word fur. Fur. Please point to the picture that is showing fur. Well done. Now, as you can see, it is the puppy right up in the corner. Now, the puppy has fur on its body. So, that is what is the word for fur. The rest of the words I want you to read by yourselves. If you don't know what they mean, This is your chance to ask an adult or someone who is older than you to help you with the meaning. And I'd like you to try and use some of the words that we have today in your sentences this week. So take your time with your reading, go over it again and again, play a game if you want to with a friend, and have fun with it. I will see you soon after the advert break.
Follow us on MyZone Facebook Active Kids to watch your daily lesson and other fun activities with Zoe and Zoshi.
Now, boys and girls, we are going to do some place values on page 21. On page 21, we are going to be putting the following numbers into their correct places and then writing it in expanded notation. So, we are going to do the example that we've been given. Let's take a look at the example. Now, the example is the same as the one I have on the board. So, we're going to do both of them for the first one and for the second example that we have there. The first one says 247. Now we have to put the numbers in their correct place. We already know that if we start from this side where the 7 is, that is a unit. So we can go ahead and write a small u here and then take the 7 and write it in its correct box, as if we are saying 7 units. We're going to go ahead and put a T on top of the 4. This one is to show that the next place value after units is tens. So we're going to take our 4 and put it in the box, as if we are saying 4 tens. Now the last one is very simple. After tens on our place values, we have grandpa hundreds. And grandpa hundreds has a 2. So we're going to take that 2 and put that in its correct box as well. And now our sum is complete. Well, almost, because on the other side, they have now asked us to expand it, which makes it bigger. So we know that when we're dealing with hundreds, there are always 2 more values. But if grandpa hundreds doesn't have friends, we put zeros. So we're going to take our 2 from earlier for hundreds, and then we're going to put 2 zeros. And then we have 200 to say 200. We're going to continue by adding and saying plus, then we move to our tens. Tens, you know, doesn't like walking alone. He has to have at least one friend. But in case he doesn't have a number friend, we always put a 0. In this case, we have 4, which turns into 40. So we're going to put our 4 and our 0, and then our plus sign. The last one that we're going to have for our place value when we are expanding it is the units. Now, Mrs. Eunice doesn't have a lot of friends. In fact, she only likes one friend at a time. So instead of writing our 7 just with another number, we're going to just write it by itself. And now we have expanded our number. So we have said 200 plus 40 plus 7. The same that is in your book. Now, after doing those ones, you're now going to do it a different way. We're still doing place values, but this time they've actually given us the expanded one. Take a look in your booklet. So in your booklet, you can see that they have said 300 plus 80 plus 1. So now it is our job to put them in their boxes and to compress it into one whole number. Let's take a look and see how we're going to do that. So when we're doing that, we actually now have to remove the zeros. So the first zeros we're going to remove are from the hundreds. So we're going to say 3, and that is the 100 we're going to put there. So we have 300. The next one we're going to remove is the 0 from 80. Then we're going to take the 8 and put it at tens. to now say that it is in the correct box, because if we're dealing with numbers and zeros, we also can't put tens and units. So if we have removed the zeros, we have to now put them in the correct boxes. The last one, as you know, doesn't really like people, so she is standing alone, and that is the 1. So now we have put it in the correct box, and after that we need to shrink it into one number. So we're going to take each digit from their place value and put them together. We will start by putting our 1, and then we will say 8, and the last digit we have is 3. So this is our complete answer, the same one that is in your booklet as well. For the last one, we're still doing place values, but all they've asked you to do is to complete. So if you are clever and you know your place values, this one is going to be very easy. I'm going to start the first one for you. So let's take a look. Now, if we have 11 equals 10 plus dash, the same one that is on the board, we are going to first make our place values sit on top of the numbers. We always start from the one that is at the equal sign. So this is the number that we are dealing with here. We have 11. They've given us 10, but we want to know what the dash is. So we're going to put a unit and a 10. Now the tens is sitting in its rightful place, and because it is the first digit, we take that 1 and we place it here, and because Mr. 10 likes at least one friend, we add a 0. So we have already dealt with Mr. 10s, but Mrs. Unit still needs to be put in her right place. So we look at the number, and the number is 1. Now the number doesn't need any friends, which means we can simply take that 1 and put it in its right place. Now we have said 11 equals 10 plus 1. So take a good look at your tens and units, boys and girls. Make sure you first label them on who's who. Mr. Tens always needs a friend, and Mrs. Units can walk alone. Normally, if there is no friend, we put a 0. So have fun, boys and girls, with your place values. Keep on practicing them, because sometimes they can get a little bit tricky. If you don't understand, you can always ask for help. I will see you soon after the advert break.
Do you have children in the age range of 5 to 6 years and want to participate in our school booklet program? Please contact us on 081 74 3759 and we will put you on our distribution list for the attention of pre-primary schools. Topics include family, summer, culture, traditions and houses, transport and communications, occupations, autumn and more. We distribute countrywide in over 7 different languages.
Now, boys and girls, we're going to end our lesson by doing a little bit of work on page 22. On page 22, we are focusing on our vocabulary words. Now remember, our theme this week is friendship. So we are going to write a small paragraph of 5 sentences on how to be a good friend. We're going to use our vocabulary words on top as we write. These words are kind, bullying, secrets, friendship, care, love, and good. Now, you're going to use these words to come up with sentences to tell people on how to be a good friend or what a good friend is. I've done 3 sentences on the board and I've used a few of the words. So let's take a look at the sentences. I've said, a good friend is always kind. So the words I have used are the words good and kind. I hope you can also see that I started with a capital letter A and a full stop as well. For the next sentence, I've started with a capital letter T, and I have said, they don't like bullying children. Now, I want to show you something about this sentence. I have used the word bullying, but if you take a good look at this bullying, it is spelled wrong. There is a letter missing. So this would make my sentence wrong. If I want to make sure that I get marks for it, I have to spell it correctly. So boys and girls, it's not enough just to write our sentences. We need to make sure that we spell the words we are given correctly. So now the word bullying will have its Y and then I-N-G. There we go. Now it is spelled correctly. So make sure, boys and girls, that if you're using the words given, take a good look at them and spell them correctly. Now we can continue. I have used the word bullying. Then I'm moving on. When someone is a good friend, comma, they will not share your secrets. So I've used the word good again, which is fine, and then I've used the word secrets. So these are the 3 sentences I have made so far. I still have a lot of words that I can use, and so can you. I want you to be creative and tell us what makes up a good friend and how you can be a good friend. Take your time, spell each of your words correctly, boys and girls, and don't forget your capital letters and your full stops. I'll see you soon after the advert break.
Follow us on MyZone Facebook Active Kids to watch your daily lesson and other fun activities with Zoe and Zoshi.
Boys and girls, we have now come to the end of our lesson. I hope you had fun. Remember, if you're not sure what to do or you didn't understand, that's okay. You can always ask an adult for help. Just make sure that you finish your work by yourself. Now that we are done with our lesson, it's time to sanitize. Remember, boys and girls, you can always teach someone how to sanitize if they don't know. Adults, children, anyone. Let's help each other stay safe. Make sure your hands are dry before you touch anything else. Zoshi and I were supposed to go out for some coffee and some cocoa, but I haven't seen him. He said he was going to come and visit me. Zoshi, where are you? Oh, there you are, Zoshi. So, from Zoshi and I, we would like to say thank you for joining us today and goodbye.
Our online school will help you along the way. Find us at www.zoshi.online and download the booklet. Follow us on Facebook to never miss a video. Subscribe to our Zoshi Telegram channel if you want to receive daily updates. Proudly sponsored by the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture, Namibian Community Trust, UNICEF, MyZone Online School, Amos Meerkat Syllabus, and Capricorn Foundation.